Hey, hey, guess who's back? It's Andrew Dynamite, baby. Yeah, I've been away for a bit, but don't worry, I'm not here to bore you with my excuses. Life happens, and I miss this chaos. But guess what? I'm back again, making videos, video games, and maybe a few more surprises along the way. So, how do we kick this off? By making a super cool physics-based game in GDevelop where you fly a spaceship and collect survivors. Alright, enough chit-chat and let's make something awesome. Okay, here we go. This is our game. This is what we're gonna create today. So as I mentioned before, it's a game about a space shuttle that flies on the alien planet, collects survivors and bring them back to the base. Let's quickly take a look how it looks like. So I use my directional keys to fly my spaceship, which is a square at the moment. We have funky particle effects, and now we can land here and we'll see our passengers coming to the spaceship. That one stayed there just because we're too far away. Now we collected him, and as you can see, we have a bar here that counts how many passengers we have collected, and we need to collect 20. We have also fuel bar, so if we collect this, now we have more fuel. So you get the idea. The whole idea is to collect all the passengers and bring them back to the base, which should be somewhere here. Okay. Oops. Cool. So let's start a new project and see how this is done. Okay, so we click on create new game, empty project, we choose this resolution, which is desktop and mobile landscape, project name, spaceship. That's okay, we can leave this one alone for the moment, unless you're making a pixel art game. Oh, actually, let's activate it because we don't do much art here. So, create new game. Okay, so first thing I would like to do is to change the background color to something a bit darker, bluish, something like this. And on the base layer, the first thing to do is to create a few objects, right? So let's start with our spaceship. We're gonna go to sprite and name it ship, and create with Piscal. Let's do 64 by 64, resize, and now we're gonna give it a color, something like purple. Alright, done. Cool. Now we have our spaceship, which is here. I can put it in the level, and obviously nothing is gonna happen right now because we need to add physics behavior to our spaceship. Now before doing that, I don't want us to, add behaviors and then the spaceship is gonna fall all the time. So let's add also the ground that our spaceship can land on. So we add new object as usual. We go to sprite, create a Piscal. Obviously, if it's a final game, you probably would want to make a tileable platform or things like that. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just gonna create something very, very simple. Okay. So we can probably leave it 32 by 32. Yeah, let's do that way. And I'm gonna add like a nice green color here. Save. We'll name it ground or platform, even better. Create it here, and we'll put it here. So this way we can resize it as we want, but for now we put it here just under the ship. Okay, so now that we have this and that, we can start to add some behaviors and see how this whole thing behaves. I'll double click my ship go to behaviors and add a behavior. As I can imagine, we just go and search for physics and choose physics engine 2.0. Here we go. Apply. Now we don't change any settings for now. We just go to preview. Cool. It falls, but it doesn't stay on the ground because the ground needs to have physics behavior too. So we add physics behavior, which is here already. Apply. Guess what will happen? They will both fall now. Okay, so the way we're gonna make sure that this platform stays in place, we're just gonna double click it, go to behaviors, and change type of it. So from dynamic to static. Now you will see that our ship falls on the ground stays in the place. Alright, now we need to start to move our ship somehow. So to do that, we just go to our events, which is empty at the moment. So we add an event, and the way we want to move our ship is by pressing, let's say, W key, and the ship gonna move up. So we add a condition, search for key pressed, I'll choose W, and press OK. And when I keep pressing this key, I want my ship to fly up. So the action we'll need to do here, we select our ship and search for force. Apply force. So X component should be 0 in this case because we don't want our ship to fly on horizontal axis. And Y, we need to select a value. So the value here can be negative or positive. So the positive value will move our ship down, and the negative will move our ship up. So if we want to go up, we need to do something negative here. So minus 6. We press OK and see what happens. Now, weird thing will happen. Something like this. So I'm pressing, releasing, the ship flies right and rotates. So it flies right just because it rotates as well. So we need to disable that. The way we're gonna do this, we're gonna go back here, double click our ship, behaviors, and select this box, fixed rotation, so it will not rotate in any way. So if we press apply and preview, now you will see that our ship gonna fly up and down. It flies down when I release the key, it flies up when I press it. Nice and smooth. Alright, now we wanna make sure that our ship can fly left or right as well. So the way we're gonna do this, go back to our events, we add a new event, add a condition, search for key. So when we press A, we want our ship to fly to the left. So, okay. Again, we select ship, force, and now we're gonna use X component here. So X component, if you want something to go to the left, you're gonna use negative values. If you want something to go right, you use positive values. So on X, we're just gonna do -1. Oops, -1, and here we're gonna do 0. Now let's test it, pressing up and then left. Okay, cool. Now we can just copy and paste this, and just Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V on my Windows machine, and I'm just gonna replace this with D, and this value with 1, so we go right. Okay, so when we click preview, we can actually start to control nicely our spaceship. So I'm pressing left, right, up to just control it with physics. Yeah, that's very cool. Now, the next thing we'll need to do, just to make things easier, is to add camera events to follow our ship. The way we're gonna do it by an extension, so it's just easier to do. I know I have a tutorial about how to make smooth camera, but that one is very old, and I wish I had that extension back then. So we're gonna just go here, extensions, add, and search for smooth. And here we go, we have smooth camera. Install in project. Now we can close. So in order to activate it, we just double click our spaceship, behaviors, add a behavior, again search for smooth, and add smooth camera. Apply. Let's click preview and see what happens now. Oh, nice! Now we can fly wherever we want and the camera will smoothly follow us everywhere. So now we can just add a few platforms here and there, just to test it a little bit. Click preview, and here we go. We can nicely fly between these green platforms. Right, let's add our survivors or person, or whatever you want to call it. We're gonna create a new object, sprite, create new. Let's make them 16 by 16 pixels, resize, and choose red color. And I just draw like a nice little box here, because that's how people look like. Cool. Save. Actually, let's make them move a little bit. Let's make it a little bit funky. I'm just gonna remove a few pixels here. Okay, so it's gonna do something like, oh yeah, I need some help, help me. Yeah, funny. Cool. And let's see how the animation looks like. We need to make it loop. That's a bit too fast, guy. Alright. Maybe 0.5. I have a feeling that's gonna work. A bit faster. No. I know it's all placeholders, but like still wanna make it a little bit funny. Apply. Oh, we forgot to call it. Let's call it person. Right. And we can put a few here, here, something like that. Cool. And now, obviously, if we press play, nothing's gonna happen. But what we want to add here, it's not physics anymore. I mean, we could do it with physics, but there's a bit simpler way for this particular game. We're gonna add behavior and search for platform. So platformer character configuration stack. Let's do that. So now if we hit apply, it will fall down because they're not physics object, so they expect a platform. But you know, we can apply multiple things to every object here, so we just grab this platform and it has already physics behavior, but we're gonna add another one, which is just a platform, and hit apply. So what's gonna happen here? So this is a 2D platformer character, whatever object behavior. This is both physics and a platform. Now I'm sure if I'm gonna press my keys here, I can actually move my characters. You'll see, they just run around, they don't interact with the ship, just because by default you can move any platform character object, right? But we want to disable here this thing, because what we want to do here is that when our ship is on that platform, is nearby our people, those people will just run on the ship and hop on, and we can fly to collect others. So first thing we need to do is to double click our person, behaviors, look for a platformer object, and just untick this default controls. So by default this will, you know, assign to keyboards certain keys, so we can move our players. So we just disable that. I hit play. They still on the platform. I press my keys, but they don't move. That's exactly what we want. So the next step now is how do we make sure that when we land there, our survivors, people will, move towards our ship and jump on it. So we're just gonna go to events, and we need to do a few things here. So we create a new event. So first of all, we gotta make sure that our ship landed on the platform and it does not move. So we select our ship and search for velocity. That's kind of like the speed that our spaceship is moving. We're gonna choose linear velocity, and we're gonna check if it's equal to 0. So that's when our ship doesn't move at all. Cool. And now, if that is true, we're gonna make our people kind of move towards our ship. So we select person, and then just type move, and add force to move towards an object. So the target object should be our ship, and the speed in pixels, it's a pixel per second. I don't know, we're gonna put something like 50. Okay, and we choose permanent, so it's gonna just permanently move towards our ship if the condition of our ship being completely still is true. So permanent. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you immediately that this is not all we need to do, because you will see now. Oh, they're already moving, and really fast. Continue moving towards our ship. Oh, this is crazy. Now, first of all, the speed is a bit too high, so maybe 10 pixels is gonna be better. Let's see. Okay, they kind of move, they go back, they're not sure what to do. This guy's even jumping. Wow, this is actually fun. Okay, that's cool. Let's make like, I don't know, 3? Maybe 3? Yeah, they're accelerating as well, so we need to fix a little bit. Okay, let's make 5, okay? But you see, like, I'm staying on one platform and they jumping towards me, which could be a nice feature of the game, but we don't want that in this case. So what I'm gonna do here, we're just also gonna check how far is the ship from the people. So let's say ship distance between two objects, and the second object is a person. Let's say it doesn't have to be more than 500 pixels. Okay, so let's press OK. In theory, I'm staying here. Okay, you see those two guys moved, but these ones didn't, just because they're outside of 500 pixels range, right? Oh, this guy literally wanna jump on this ship. Cool. So maybe let's make something less, maybe like 300. Yeah, they don't move. Now, let's try to move our ship. They don't move either, just because the speed of the ship is over 0. Now you will see what will happen when I land here. Yeah, they're happy to see me and they're jumping around. Okay, let's do a few more things here. We're gonna add also another event where, how do they actually get on the ship, like visually. So we're gonna select our ship and choose collision, this one, between ship and the person, and then we're just gonna delete the person. So select the person, delete the object. Okay, so now what's gonna happen, we're gonna fly up, land on here. Boom, boom, boom. And visually we actually collected all the people here. Cool. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is to add a counter for how many people we have collected. We're gonna use a progress bar for this. So in order to do that, we're gonna install another extension. We just go to the menu, extensions, add search for bar. So I have it here already, but yeah, let's just type bar, and we choose resource bar. So with this extension you can count like how much health you have, mana, ammunitions, and show it visually on a progress bar. So let's install it to a project, close, and go back to our scene here and add a new object. We're gonna choose resource bar. Gonna choose something simple. There are many funky designs here which are really cool, but I'm gonna just go for something simple here. Okay, we have it here. So let's go in. Let's call it people. We don't care about initial text to display. We just care about initial value, which should be 0 because we have not collected anyone at the beginning of the level, and the maximum value is going to be how many people we actually want to collect in this particular level. So we're gonna put here 10, and that's all we need to do here. Hit apply and drag and drop our bar here. Now if we press preview, obviously we don't see it permanent in that position. It's somewhere here just because the bar is on the same layer as all the other objects. So what we need to do here is to create another layer. Just click here and we're gonna call it UI, which stands for user interface, and then click this and select a layer here. It should display on the UI layer. Now this will allow us to see the bar always here. So we just fly, jump here, we collect our players, but obviously nothing happened. So okay, we need to add some events here. We're gonna go for this one, which you have already. So the ship is in collision with the person gets the lead, and we're gonna add 1 to our progress bar. So we add an action, search for progress bar, which is this one, and search for value. Now here, instead of selecting a specific value which is equal, we're just gonna add 1. So you press OK, you press preview, and now the bar should fill up. Okay, we collected 4 players. We collected more players, and we collected all of them, so it's 10 out of 10. Obviously we want to end the game somehow, right? So you're gonna win if you actually collect all the players and you flew to the base and you land there, and that's how you're gonna win the game. Now I noticed a bug here, which I didn't think at the moment. So you're not stopped, but whenever you touch any player, it immediately collects it. So we're gonna actually fix it right now. So we're still gonna go here, and we're gonna add another condition. So not only the ship needs to touch the person, also the ship needs to be still. So we just actually can copy this thing here, right? So we just click here, copy, and paste here. So now we're gonna collect the person only if the ship is in collision with the person, but also doesn't have to move. So let's see here. So now I can fly. You see, we didn't do anything here, but now they get on the ship. Let's try it again. Okay, let me do something like this. Does nothing, but only when the ship stops, things happen. Cool. Okay, this game is starting to take shape and it feels quite fun. Whoop. So the last step for part 1 of this video is gonna be creating a base platform. That's where we're gonna bring our people after we collect them, all of them. So the first thing, we just go back to our scene, add a new object, again sprite, create a new one. 32 by 32 is fine. We're gonna choose a bright blue color, so thus we can differentiate it from the green one. Save. Again, let's call it base. let's go directly to behaviors, because we actually need to land on it, and by now you should know how to do this. Add a behavior, let's search for physics engine, and let's make it static as the green platforms, but this is a special platform. That's the one that we need to land on after we collected all of our players or people or survivors. Well, now I have 3 names for them. Okay, cool. We created it, and now let's put it somewhere here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, make it a bit bigger, and actually that's gonna be where we start as well, right? So you're gonna start from the base, you fly to these platforms, you collect all your players, and then after you did that, when you have like 10 of them, you're gonna fly back to the base, and that's how you win the game. So by now, if we hit preview, we should start on the blue platform. Everything works perfectly. Now obviously if we collect all of the 10 people and we fly back here, nothing will happen. So I'm gonna do something very simple. Once you collect all of them, you fly back here, you're gonna land, the game will stop, and we're gonna display you win text. So I'm gonna do it very simply. I add a new object. Let's search for text. Where is it? Text. Okay, I'm gonna choose white color because everything is quite dark, and the text is gonna be you win. Cool. Apply. Let's give it a name as well. Win text. Play. We're gonna leave it here because we're gonna create it at the moment where actually we win, right? So we can actually create it here somewhere above the spaceship. So now it's all about the events. We just go here and do a few things. We're gonna create a new event. So first thing you wanna do, make sure that all of the players are collected. So we need to check what happens with the bar. So we click on the progress bar, then check the value, and we're just gonna check if the value is 10. So if we collected all the players, press OK. So that's the first thing. The other thing, we need to check if the ship is fully stopped, right? So we don't want to touch the platform where we are flying and then all of a sudden we win. That's just not gonna look natural. So add another condition, or even better, let's cancel this. We have already here and here the same thing. We just copy this one and put it here. Now what will happen here? Now we need to create the text that we created here, right? So win text about the ship, but also we need to make sure that we cannot move ship anymore ever. So it's just like, you land there, everything stops, and no keyboard input can be made. So first of all, let's just create that win text about the ship. So add an action. We choose win text and say create, and we choose a position. So we can create a text in relation to an object and choose a position like how far from that object we want to create that text, right? So definitely we want to create it near the spaceship. So we start to type ship, X position, so X, and close. So it's gonna be created at the same horizontal position of the ship. So now we can copy this and put it here and change the value to Y. Now I'm gonna leave it just for example like this. It's not correct, but we're just gonna show you how this works, right? So we press OK, preview. Now bear with me, I need to collect some people. Yeah, almost there. Yeah, almost there. 7, 8. Okay, we have the text here, but we didn't land on the base. Also, we can move our player. So this is half finished, right? So we need to add another condition. We need to add a condition of the ship is in collision with the platform. Now, be careful to not choose the wrong collision, right? So if you choose this collision, it's just between the two objects, doesn't matter if they're physics or not. So better to check if they're in collision on the physics level, right? So it's this one, with this funky icon here. So collision with object base, yeah. Okay, so if now if you collected all the people, the value is 10. If the ship is not moving, and also if the ship is touching the base platform, then we're gonna create the text. Now the other problem we need to solve that I showed you before is that we would be able to move our ship after this. We want the ship to be stopped. So the way to do this, we're gonna just make sure that our ship is not dynamic physics object, but it's now gonna be static as other platforms. So the action we need to add here, it's simply ship type static, set as static. Okay, so now if we're gonna check everything, bear with me. So we start from the base. Oh my god, it's not really easy to control. Okay, 4 players, 2 more players, and 3 more players. Great, we have all of them. The text win didn't appear. We are flying back to our base, which should be somewhere here, right? So we touch the base. Let's see. So we touch it, but we didn't stop. Nothing happened. Now I'm gonna release my keys, and cool, you win. And I try to fly again, but really nothing happens. So that's how we win the level. Now, yeah, this is the basic game. We have pretty much all the base there. Now, as I said, this is part 1 of the video. I'm gonna make the second part where we're gonna add fuel. So obviously this is very easy to win because you can fly forever, you can collect all the players, don't care about like how much fuel you're using. So we're gonna add that. We're gonna add a progress bar for the fuel as well, and we're gonna add some more funky things like, you know, some more animation, particle effects, just to make this game feel good. But you know, I hope you enjoyed this first part of the video. As you can see here, we didn't use many conditions, many building blocks, anything, and the game already feels nice. So thanks for watching, and please subscribe, like, comment. Also please follow me on x.com, and yeah, see you next time.